Why you should embrace solitude. There is a kind of silence most people run from. The kind that comes when the world stops speaking, when the phone doesn't ring, when there's no one at the door, no one waiting, no one asking, just stillness, just you and your thoughts. Most people call it loneliness, but not all silence is loneliness. Sometimes, it's solitude, and solitude is not something to fear, it's something to embrace, because within solitude lives the truth of who you really are. When the noise fades, your real voice finally rises, and that voice has stories to tell, truths to uncover, wounds to heal. In a world that teaches us to stay busy, to keep talking, to keep running, we rarely pause long enough to meet the one person we live with forever, ourselves. When you're always surrounded by people, you wear masks, you smile when you want to cry, you nod when you want to scream, you stay silent just to keep peace. But in solitude, you don't have to pretend, you don't have to smile, you don't have to hide. You can finally just be, and that kind of freedom, it's rare, and it's powerful. Solitude teaches you how to sit with your past, not to regret it, but to understand it, to trace the patterns, the pain, the moments that shaped you. It teaches you to forgive yourself, because sometimes, the hardest person to forgive is not someone else, it's the version of yourself that didn't know better. Alone, in the quiet, you can finally look at the parts of you that you pushed away, the fears you buried, the dreams you gave up on, the love you didn't fight for, the risks you didn't take. Solitude gives you a second chance to sit with those moments not as a judge, but as a friend, to ask yourself gently, what did I need then? And more importantly, what do I need now? Most people are afraid of being alone because they confuse it with being unloved. But solitude is not abandonment. Solitude is the home your soul has been begging you to return to. It's the deep exhale after years of holding your breath. It's the mirror that doesn't lie. It's where healing begins. When you're alone, you start to notice the little things again. The way the wind moves the curtains, the warmth of sunlight on your skin, the slow rhythm of your breath, the sound of your own heartbeat reminding you, you're still here. Solitude reminds you that you don't need to perform for the world. You don't need to keep proving your worth. You don't need to be strong all the time. In the quiet, you can break, you can fall apart, you can cry without explanation, and then, piece by piece, you can rebuild. People spend their whole lives searching for someone to understand them, but no one will ever understand you like you can if you just stop and listen. We chase love, attention, validation, thinking they will fill the emptiness inside. But nothing external can truly heal what's internal. No one can complete you, because you were never incomplete to begin with. You just forgot how whole you already are. Solitude brings you back to wholeness, to truth, to peace. You start realizing you don't need to be in a crowd to feel alive. You don't need to be in love to feel cherished. You don't need applause to feel valuable. You start falling in love with simple moments. Drinking your tea slowly, reading a book with no purpose, listening to rain, writing letters you'll never send, breathing, just breathing. Solitude is not the absence of love, it is the presence of self. And when you begin to enjoy your own company, you raise the standard for everyone else. Because now, you're no longer looking to be completed, you're looking to be understood, matched, respected, and that changes everything. Solitude also reveals the truth about your relationships. You start to see who brings you peace, and who brings you pain. You begin to distinguish between connection and attachment, between love and dependence. You stop clinging to people just because you're afraid to be alone, because now, you're not afraid anymore. In solitude, you learn to walk away, not out of pride, but out of self-respect. You no longer fear silence, because it no longer feels empty. It feels sacred, like a temple you return to every day, a place where your spirit rests, and your soul remembers its own name. And perhaps the most beautiful part of solitude is this: when you stop fearing being alone, you stop chasing the wrong things, you stop settling, you stop shrinking, you stop rushing, you begin to live, deliberately, mindfully, fully. You start choosing people, not needing them. You start speaking your truth, not just saying what's expected. You start showing up for yourself, not waiting for someone else to do it. You learn to mother yourself, to father yourself, to be your own best friend, your own healer, your own companion, and in that sacred space, you find a peace that the world can't take away. Yes, there will be moments when solitude feels heavy, when memories visit you like ghosts, when your chest aches with longing, when the nights feel endless. But even in those moments, there is power, because you are feeling, because you are alive, and slowly, you begin to understand. Solitude isn't loneliness, it's intimacy, with yourself, with life, with the universe. In solitude, your prayers are louder, your faith is deeper, your vision is clearer, you are no longer distracted by the noise, you are guided by the stillness, and maybe that's what your soul has been waiting for. Not more people, not more noise, not more stimulation, but stillness, presence, truth. So, if you are alone right now, let that aloneness become your teacher. Let it show you who you are when no one is watching. Let it remind you that you are always enough. Let it shape you, strengthen you, soften you. Do not run from solitude, walk into it, and bow, because it is not your enemy, it is your sanctuary, and in that sacred space, you will find the one person who can never leave you. You embrace solitude, not as a punishment, but as a gift, because when you finally make peace with being alone, you unlock a love so deep, so steady, so eternal, that you never need to search for it again. It's been inside you all along. I hope you had a great time watching. Your support means a lot. So please like this video if you did, and subscribe to join our growing community for more awesome content.